Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope you all are fine and doing well during this pandemic. Welcome to online school. I'm your teacher Maria Marif, and together we will try to cover some important topics through video lectures. I hope you are already in touch with your course. So without wasting a moment, let's start our first lecture. First chapter is about chemical equilibrium. So in the first lecture, we will cover few important things about reversible reaction and dynamic equilibrium. So let's recall few important concepts before starting today's lecture. You already know about the formation and breaking of bonds between two elements. And when this formation or breaking of bonds happen between the two elements, the chemical reaction occur. All these changes are chemical reactions, and you can see these reactions happening around. For example, explosion of a firework, rusting of a metal, the chemical reaction when the milk goes bad, from the birth of people to when they grow old, when they die, and then they decompose. What is chemical equation? You already know that we write chemical reaction in the form of a chemical equation. You can see a simple equation on your screens where sodium hydroxide react with hydrochloric acid to form sodium chloride and water. There is an arrow in between which shows the direction of a reaction. The chemicals on the left side of the chemical equation are called as reactants, and the products which form as a result of these reactions are written on the right side of a chemical equation. The arrowhead is showing that this reaction is a unidirectional reaction, which means that this reaction happens in only one direction. You might be thinking that the reaction happens in only one direction. Sometimes that's true. For example, candle cannot unburn or firework cannot unexplode. But most of the reaction happen in both directions. And such type of reactions are called as the reversible reactions. So what is a reversible reaction? It is a type of a reaction which proceeds in both direction, forward and backward. Such reactions are represented by double-headed arrow. For example, if you have a reactant A and B, they will react together in some conditions and they will produce two products C and D. They will be represented by double-headed arrow, half forward and half backward. What does that mean? That such type of reaction happen in two direction. They are two direction reaction and they are also called as reversible reactions. But keep in mind that the conditions should be same throughout the whole reaction. Ir means no and reversible means reverse. So irreversible reactions are the type of reactions which proceed only in one direction, in which reactants are completely converted into products. For example, we have reactants A and B. When they will react together, they will be converted into the products C and D. Such type of reactions are represented by single-headed arrow. Some of the example of such type of reaction is the burning of a candle and explosion of a firework. They cannot be undone. One of the example of irreversible reaction is the reaction between sodium and water. When they both react together, the reaction is irreversible reaction when the container is not closed, because as a result of this reaction, two products are formed, sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. As you know that hydrogen is a gas and the container is not closed, hydrogen will move out of the container, which means that the reaction cannot be converted back into the reactants and such type of reaction is irreversible. Okay, now let's talk about the equilibrium in a chemical reaction. Whenever you will see double-headed arrow, we will talk about the dynamic equilibrium in a chemical reaction. So in dynamic equilibrium, we will study three main things about the definition, the condition required to achieve dynamic equilibrium, and some of the examples. When the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of reverse reaction, the dynamic equilibrium is achieved. We can understand this idea by a very simple example. The wet towel hanging outdoor. Now this wet towel consists of the liquid water. Under the sun, this liquid water is going to convert into the gas form of a water, which is called as evaporation. And as these things are happening in an open system, so this reaction is irreversible reaction, and this reaction will keep on moving until the towel is dry. Now consider the same reaction in a closed container. Now in this system, the liquid form of a water is converted into the gas form, but as the system is closed, the gas form of water will convert it back into the liquid form, and the process is now called as condensation, not evaporation. And such type of reaction is called as reversible reaction, and dynamic equilibrium can be achieved in such type of reactions in a closed container. So the equilibrium can be achieved in a reversible reaction. Consider a simple reaction, the reaction between carbon and oxygen for the formation of carbon dioxide. And also consider the direction of arrow in this reaction. This is a one-way reaction, which means it is irreversible reaction. Why it is irreversible reaction? Because the carbon dioxide formed as a result of this reaction cannot be converted back into carbon and oxygen. Now consider another reaction which is a reversible reaction, and how can you say that it is a reversible reaction? From the arrows, the double-headed arrows. Now here ammonium chloride is converted into ammonia and HCl. This reaction is reversible reaction. The conversion of ammonium chloride into ammonia and HCl is a forward reaction, and the conversion of ammonia and hydrochloric acid back into ammonium chloride is a backward reaction, and together they are reversible reaction. Now the rate of forward and backward reaction in a reversible reaction depends upon the time, because with time the concentration of reactants and products keeps on changing. In the beginning, the forward reaction will be high because you have more amount of ammonium chloride and none of ammonia and hydrochloric acid. But with time, the forward reaction will keep on decreasing and the backward reaction will keep on increasing, because now you have more amount of ammonia and HCl and less ammonium chloride. The important criteria to achieve dynamic equilibrium is the reaction should be reversible, and this reaction should be happening in a closed container, so that there is no interference of any other matter in the reaction, plus there is no interference of energy in the reaction. Consider another example, which is the reaction of calcium oxide and carbon dioxide for the formation of calcium carbonate. It is a forward reaction. When we will have more amount of calcium carbonate, this calcium carbonate will be converted back into the reactants calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, and this thing will keep on moving until we will achieve dynamic equilibrium. But this reaction should be happening in a closed container, because in an opened container, carbon dioxide will move out and we cannot achieve the dynamic equilibrium in such situation. Now consider this example. This example is given in your self-assessment exercise. I'll help you to solve this example. This is the reaction between hydrogen and iodine for the formation of hydrogen iodide. You have to write the forward reaction. So simple. You just have to write hydrogen and iodine, and you have to write a single-headed arrow. And then you have to write hydrogen iodide, and this reaction will be a forward reaction, which means hydrogen and iodine are going to convert into hydrogen iodide. So now you know about the reactions, reversible reaction, irreversible reaction, and how to achieve dynamic equilibrium in a closed container. Don't forget to make the notes of important things discussed in this lecture, and open your book and read the topic thoroughly. If you find any question regarding this topic, you can ask me anytime. Keep learning, don't waste your time. Have a good day. Take care.